Hey there, my name is Greenlock28 and this is Intro to JSON. Chances are you watched one of my other model videos and I told you to watch this video in preparation, and here you are. So with that being said, I'll jump right in. JSON stands for JavaScript Object Notation. I've got my NetBeans window here open. Now what I have here is a very basic JSON object. This whole thing right here from these braces, opening brace to end brace, is a JSON object. So the structure of a JSON object is basically your opening brace, your variable name in quotes, a colon, and your value, and then an end brace. Values can be one of many things. The one we have here is a string, or actually stands for a string of characters, or a bunch of characters. So it really can be anything, including spaces. It can also be numbers, like that. It can be logical or Boolean values, such as true or false. These values can also be null. Now, another thing that you can do with these values is arrays. Arrays are lists of values, so I could do array 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So basically now what I've done is I've assigned an array of the values 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 to the variable. Something I forgot to mention is in objects you can have multiple variables, such as this. All you have to do is put a comma after each thing and put more variables. You can also embed JSON objects as values. So JSON objects as values. So what I could do here is do something like this. var1 So now what I've got is I've got a JSON object like the one that's the root object here as a value of the variable called variable. So, yep. And then these can have any value. So I think now I'll show you a config file from model. JSON is our primary way of storing config data for model. Desktop, model. One config file is the IDs file in the data folder. So here we go. We have our root JSON object. Our mode variable is set to the string universal. One thing to make note of is in our config files, all of our values are strings. In the application, we convert those strings to whatever value type is represented inside the string, but as for the actual JSON files, they're all string types. So universal mode, and then our next variable is called universal, and it is an array of JSON objects here with your opening and closing braces. Variable name is thermal expansion. The range is 1000. And just so you understand what this is doing, we're setting the model ID mode to universal, and then this variable is the list of mods and their ID ranges for setting universal. So thermal expansion IDs are going to start at 1000 and go up. we could add, well, this is a topic for a different video on auto IDs. I'll show you one more config file, and then that should do it. Let's show you buildcraft's entry.json. Cache entries will be covered in a different video, most likely one of the ones that redirected you to this video. So here we go. Name variable, version variable, author, website, Minecraft version. They all have commas after each name and value pair. Our file list, which is an array of JSON objects. Each object has a name, action, target, URL. Again, ending with a comma, and this closing brace here. Settings is an empty list, dependencies is an empty list, and exclusions is an empty list. Well, now I've shown you 3 different JSON files. More information on the JSON format can be obtained at json.org. That's JSON.org. Thank you for watching this video. You can now return to whatever you came from, and I hope you learned a lot about the JSON format.